man from Naples has been arrested for allegedly possessing and attempting to view child sexual abuse material of children 12 years or younger. The Collier County Sheriff's Office arrested 46-year-old Chomo Mylan Edwin Huff, a fugitive from Tampa, on Thursday for reportedly possessing the child sexual abuse materials. According to the indictment, Huff had access and intent to view sexually explicit content involving those young children. The indictment said the videos depicted a prepubescent minor as well as a child 12 years or younger. He's being charged with access to intent to view child sexual abuse material. What a freaking chomo. Now over to Alabama, where a Hartselle man was arrested for possessing child sexual abuse material on Thursday, according to the Hartselle Police Department. Police said 72-year-old Roy Wayne Goodwin of Hartselle was arrested for having obscene material under the age of 17. Investigators said the arrest came following a complaint that was reported in August of last year. The search warrant was obtained for the residence of Goodwin, and items were later determined to be child sexual abuse material seized. Investigators obtained 5 felony warrants for Goodwin for possessing obscene matter depicting minors under the age of 17. Mississippi. On Thursday, 50-year-old Travis Damon Wade of Biloxi was sentenced to 40 years in prison without the possibility of parole or early release. Wade was convicted on 3 counts of child sexual abuse material possession, as well as 3 counts of voyeurism. Back on June 9th of 2022, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office searched Wade's residence in Biloxi as part of an investigation into another couple, Robert and Christina Bayless. That couple was sentenced in January on child exploitation charges. During the search of Wade's home, investigators found several electronic devices containing child sexual abuse material, as well as evidence of the crimes committed by the Baylesses. District Attorney Angel Myers McIlrath said, "The crimes of Wade and the Baylesses are nothing short of evil. We all must remain vigilant and resolute in the protection of children. Our community will not accept victimizing children, and these 40-year prison sentences are proof of that. See ya, Chomo." Alright, now we got another fake preacher. You know, one of those guys that just sneaks their way in, wolf in sheep's clothing. This is the pastor of a Granite Shoals ministry and food pantry. He was arrested on March 14th on a charge of indecency with a child by sexual contact. But this is the 3rd time that this chomo's been busted for the same thing. This is 68-year-old Roy Guerrero Sr. He was arrested on this charge, adding up to 7 total counts of this stuff for him, and allegations from 3 different people. Well, he was released from the Burnett County Jail again Thursday on a $40,000 bond. He's currently awaiting a May 24th status hearing in the 33rd Judicial District Court. Oh man, why do they let these people out? I just don't get it. Alright, a TSA worker, one of them airplane dudes, from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, was arrested in Florida last month in a child sexting operation. And yep, you guessed it, that was Grady Judd's investigation. That's why his face looks familiar to a lot of you guys, isn't it? Grady did a nice story on this guy, now it's my turn. This is 37-year-old Edmundo De Silva of Holly Springs. He's charged with multiple felonies, including human trafficking, use of a computer to solicitate a guardian, traveling to meet a minor, and use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony. De Silva responded to an ad posted on social media by an undercover detective, and he's accused of communicating with an adult who he thought he had access to a child. You know, it was supposed to be the parent's daughter that he was going to go have sex with, and he only had $60 to pay for her. What a cheap-ass chomo. Well, the sheriff's office said De Silva agreed to meet the undercover detective in Florida, where he was arrested. De Silva had 2 condoms in his pocket at the time of his arrest, and he told detectives that he's married and he works as the transportation security officer. Well, security came down on you, didn't it there, Chomo? See ya! Let's head down to Hammond, Louisiana. A man convicted in a child sexual abuse case more than a decade ago was arrested again Thursday on similar charges. You know, once a cockroach, always a cockroach, right? This is 59-year-old David Hollingsworth. He was booked Thursday in Tapioca Parish in 7 felony counts of child sexual abuse materials. Hollingsworth was convicted back in 2012 of receiving child sexual abuse material and sentenced to 5 years in prison and 5 years of supervised release. Well, obviously 5 years wasn't quite enough, because here we are again. He's doing the same thing. The current arrest resulted from a joint investigation with the Attorney General's Cybercrime Unit, the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, and Homeland Security investigations. This investigation stems from one multiple source, and that is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, our heroes. Bay City, Texas. A suspect wanted on a sexual assault charge was arrested by Bay City police. 49-year-old Humberto Sanchez was taken into custody Wednesday night at his house in front of his family. Wonder what they thought about that. Sanchez had an active warrant charging him with aggravated sexual assault of a child. He is now in the Matagorda County Jail. Sanchez could face up to life in prison if he's found guilty. Yeah, he'll fit in nice. See ya, Chomo. Flemington, New Jersey. A man in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, is being accused of possessing child sexual abuse materials. Yes, more of that illicit material coming our way. Unreal. This one comes via Francisco Barones Garcia, the 31-year-old of Flemington. He was arrested Wednesday as being charged with third-degree possession of child sexual abuse materials, according to a news release from the Hunterdon County Prosecutor's Office. The cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children led to an investigation by the Hunterdon County Prosecutor's Office Forensic Services Unit, the Raritan Township Police Department, and the Flemington Borough Police Department that resulted in the arrest of Barones Garcia, the prosecutor's office said. Garcia was taken to the Warren County Jail and was later released into conditional pretrial monitoring. They let him go. Unreal. The prosecutor's office says Garcia could face between 3 and 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $15,000. Not nearly enough. A Hopkinsville man was charged with possession and distribution of child sexual abuse materials Thursday morning. Seems like almost every story I'm running here tonight's all about CSAM. These guys are just insane. It's overwhelming sometimes. The Hopkinsville police say they received information, an account on Kik used by 35-year-old Jerry Meadows had child sexual abuse material, and he had uploaded it to the platform. Kik's pretty good about finding that stuff. I don't know if you noticed that or not. But he was subsequently arrested and charged with distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor, and 3 counts of possession of matter of a sexual performance by a minor. Yep. Don't mess with Kik, Chomo. A 66-year-old Wellsville man previously convicted of sexually abusing 2 girls has admitted to downloading child sexual abuse material over the internet. Once a cockroach, always a cockroach. Curtis Wayne Lee waived his right to a fair trial and accepted a plea deal that could send him to prison. It better send him to prison. According to court records, Lee appeared for a final pretrial conference Monday, March 11th in Logan's 1st District Court. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, which is a second-degree felony. According to prosecutors, a member of the Logan Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force began investigating Lee in August of 23 after detecting a computer downloading child sexual abuse material. The agent was using investigative software to monitor file sharing networks, like BitTorrent or uTorrent, one of those. The officer reportedly found over a dozen photos being shared by a computer in Wellsville. The images, of course, stem back to this chomo. We knew it did. Investigators performed a digital forensic analysis on the laptop and hard drive of his materials after a search warrant, finding more sexual images of children, including, a girl being sexually abused by an adult male, prepubescent kids. The laptop also had software installed on it designed to permanently erase files and logs. Lee reportedly told police he was sexually interested in children and viewed child pornography as an outlet for his desires. He also implied that looking at explicit material helped keep him from sexually abusing children. What kind of an excuse is that? You just don't do it. Court records show Lee was arrested back in '97 for molesting 2 young girls. The crimes occurred repeatedly over a period of years, and he was later convicted of sexual abuse of a child, a second-degree felony, and sentenced to serve 1 year in jail. Well, if you're going to do that over and over and over again and you only get 1 year, of course you're going to get out and do it again. The story makes me so mad. During Monday's hearing, prosecutors dismissed 15 remaining charges against Lee in exchange for his guilty plea. This is insane. A 3-day jury trial scheduled to begin March 27th was also canceled. Well, Lee remains in the Cachet County Jail being held without bail. He's scheduled to be sentenced on the new charges April 29th, and he could only face up to 15 years in prison. They'll probably only give him 2 and he'll get out and do it again. What the hell? We're down to New Boston, Texas for this one. A man who sexually abused a girl for years was sentenced to life in prison without parole at the end of a jury trial in Bowie County. This is 44-year-old Jose Luis Ramirez. He was arrested for continuous sexual abuse of a child in 2013 and released on bond. Now, continuous sexual abuse of a child, and you're going to release him on bond? Well, guess what? He failed to appear in court after his release, and they thought he fled down to Mexico. This started when a girl reported back in 2009 that Ramirez would sexually assault her at a house on Forest Lane in Bowie County. The girl, who was just then 12 years old, reported that abuse had been ongoing for years and recounted being sexually assaulted for the first time by Ramirez on her 8th birthday and being told it was her birthday present. Well, today is her 28th birthday, and he got life without parole. And check this out. At the jury's request, the jurors sang happy birthday to her after the trial. That's awesome. Well, Ramirez resurfaced in the area last year, and he was spotted and arrested. And he's been in custody since April. And this week, a jury heard testimony from the victim and from another girl who alleges he was sexually assaulting her as well. They deliberated for about 10 minutes during the punishment phase of Ramirez's trial before returning to the courtroom with a life sentence and a maximum of a $10,000 fine. Under Texas law, defendants convicted of the continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14 are not eligible for parole. See ya, Chomo! Let's head down to Florida. The Santa Rosa Beach man is in custody after deputies say he had child sexual abuse material in his possession. Yeah, more of that crap. This investigation started after the Walton County Sheriff's Office said they received a tip from guess who? the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And it was regarding a social media user sending files of child sexual abuse material. The officials say the files received were revealed to be videos of children between the ages of just 3 years old and 10 being sexually abused. Further investigation reportedly showed a 44-year-old Christopher Pappenfort, this chomo right here, had sent videos to app users almost 60 times. So he's sitting there handing it out to people. Deputies say that after several subpoenas for phone, internet, and social media providers, 2 search warrants were conducted. One on Pappenfort's residence on Mac Bayo Drive, and doesn't say where the other one was at. The searches resulted in several electronic devices allegedly being seized and linked to accounts used to send that CSAM. Pappenfort was charged with 6 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material, 58 counts of transmitting the child sexual abuse material, and 1 count of using a two-way communication device in the commission of a felony. Of course, additional charges are also pending. Pappenfort was given a $25,000 bond and is still in custody at this time.
Bryden, you're right. It's a step in the right direction.
Happy birthday, dear Ellie.
Now, Ellie, remember, this is our special secret.
Okay, Uncle Jim.
1 in 5 children is sexually abused before they turn 18.
Make a wish, but remember, it's a secret.
Do you know the signs?
I just want everyone to go home.
Learn more about the risks of child sexual abuse at sapria.org.
When a child experiences trauma, they can be stripped of their ability to imagine. But imagination is colors. All the colors. Imagination is freedom. And whatever you want it to be. But a child without imagination is not a child at all. Will you help defend our right to imagine?